Guys, I might be in over my head on this one. So what you see in front of you right now is the brand new line of Simagic wheelbases. We have the EVO Sport, the EVO, and the EVO Pro. These are the successors to the ever-beloved Alpha Series wheelbases. In this video, I will be comparing the Alpha Mini to the EVO Sport, as well as pitting them against each other. And we're gonna go over the positives and negatives, although I'm not gonna lie, there's not a whole lot of negatives. I think two. The EVO Sport is a 9 Nm wheelbase, the regular old EVO is a 12, and the EVO Pro is an 18. I think this was a bit of a strategic move for the upgrade path of Simagic, because if we look back at the Alpha Mini and we look at reviews of it, a lot of people were saying that that wheelbase put out about 12 Nm on a frequent basis, which is pretty much what people are looking for. 12 is enough to get you through sim racing pretty much forever, especially for a newcomer. So with this new setup, we have a choice to make now. Do you go for the 9 or the 12? The 12 will be your forever wheel. The 9 will most likely suit almost all sim racers, but it would be nice to have that little bit of extra power. So I think this was a bit of a marketing move, and I don't hate it. I mean, we see all kinds of companies doing it all over right now, and to be honest, the wheels feel fantastic. So if you guys know me, I'm not much of a connoisseur of force feedback. I just go off of how it feels and how much fun I'm having. So we're gonna read the technical specs here. 5-pole servo motor, cog-free. Let's talk about the cog. So cog-free performance, that's something we're starting to see in sim racing. We saw it in the Thrustmaster T598, their direct axial drive, and now Simagic is boasting this cog-free technology. Now, if we compare them, when I spin the Alpha Mini, I can feel the cogging. I can feel it resisting at certain points. There. It's like kind of jittery, and it's not hard to push past, but there is a resistance there. Now, if we come over here to the EVO, if you go really slow and really light, you can still feel a general resistance, but there's not nearly as much. But now let's talk from a gameplay standpoint, because I think the average sim racer won't notice this, but what I believe this is offering me is maybe faster reaction times. Other than that though, I would be hard pressed to find a difference. And I said the same for the T598. I think for the average sim racer, it's just not that big of a deal. But it is a small progression in technology, and I think all these small progressions are what make wheelbases better over time. But just like the T598, boasting cog-free comes with something a little strange. You get an electronic whir from your wheelbase. Now, very almost inaudible on the Simagic EVOs. You can hear it like whenever your wheel's reacting fast. It's like this metallic whirring noise. I'll try to pick it up on camera, but I don't even know if I will. On the T598, you could take your headphones off and actually hear it. On this one, you have to really focus in to hear it, but it is there. And I think that's part of the cog-free technology. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I could be way off base. Um, 11 output ports, guys. We need to talk about this. This is a big one. Break out the Mini again. Look at the back. There's no ports on the back of this Mini. They're on the sides, okay? What this means is I can only plug one peripheral into my Alpha Mini. So this is the biggest upgrade for me with these wheelbases that I actually enjoy the most. If you look at the back of the EVO wheelbases, you'll see this. You can now plug all of your Simagic peripherals into the back, which makes your cable management better. It makes it easier to detect on games. This is a big win. Big win. And over here, I typically have my e-brake, pedals, and shifter plugged in, as well as power. Now there is a power button on the wheelbase, so you don't have to hunt for the power switch on your cable, although it is still there. My dog is snoring aggressively in the background. I'll see if I can pull that audio. Now, for some real honesty, I've been lying to you this entire video. These two are actually flipped. I lied. This is the Sport, and this is the EVO. Why'd I lie to you? That's a great question. This is one of my cons, and it's a dumb con. It doesn't really matter, but it matters to me a little bit. I'm a little pissed. Not really. So my trusty Simagic Alpha Mini has a little M. You know what that M stands for? It stands for Mini. It tells me what wheelbase it is, which doesn't really matter, but I kind of like it. It's an identifier. I tell people that's my Alpha Mini. However, you would have never known that I flipped these, because they don't have badging. Nothing. There's nothing that tells them apart. These actually have the same size case, the same build, they have the same motor, same bit rate. The only difference is their Newton meter output. You would never be able to tell. The only way you can tell is by flipping them over, coming to the back, and right here it says EVO Sport. That's it. You're buying a product, it's gonna cost you some money, which we need to talk about. I feel like you want it to feel a little bit more personal. But yeah, that's my dumb 2 cents. Let's move on. Maybe we should check under this sticker. Maybe it's under here and I've misled you. I haven't checked yet because I have to return these. SimHQ sent me these to review, but I am returning them. So we're gonna, don't tell SimHQ, but we're gonna look. What the hell does up plus mean? Do not remove. Okay. Nothing. All right, we're putting it back. Damn it. Is that like the tags on a mattress? They'll take you to prison. Oh boy, it's not perfect now, crap. For another difference you'll find on these wheelbases, you can no longer spin them and get this pretty light when they're not plugged in. I don't know if that matters to you, but if you and I are looking at the front of these wheelbases, what's the big difference that you see? That's right, there's no front mounting holes on the EVOs, which is a weird decision. You still have your plate mounting and you still have side mounting, so it's not all lost. But Simagic does offer mounting options. They offer a front mount adapter that is $49, and they even offer side mount tilt adapters for $29. So those options are there, but they will add to the cost of your wheelbase depending on what your current setup is. So make sure and look into that when budgeting out for your wheel. And if you've noticed throughout the video, I've got these weird red things on the EVO Pro. This is from my next level rig. These are my side mount adapters. So I had adapters already that came with my sim rig, so I wouldn't need to make that extra purchase. So just keep that in mind. Maybe the things you have at home will already work for these wheelbases. The Alpha series were notoriously metal all the way through. We've moved into a new era of bubbly, which I don't mind because I kind of like the way these look. But we do have plastic caps on the front and the back. This is a negative for some people. I do like the construction of the Alphas a bit more than I do the EVOs, but I believe they claim this is for heat sinking, which is on to our next subject. Now for heating. I ran these wheelbases through quite a bit over the last month. I did not do any endurance racing, nothing over 40 minutes straight. Did do a 3-hour night of rally with this thing yanking me around, and it barely got warm. So they obviously get hot. There is a warning right here saying hot surface. They've also been boasting that these do not lose power under extreme heat. I could not get them extremely hot. Even one night on the Sport, I turned the strength on iRacing up to like 70, to where I couldn't even turn this thing hardly, and did 10 minutes with it and it still didn't get hot. So I stress tested it a little bit, and I don't know, maybe somebody else will come along with an extreme heat test. But for me, the heating on these was really good. On the front of the wheelbase, we also have a new telemetry ring light, which I actually like quite a bit. And with the new SimPro software that has been being tested all month, there is a whole section for your telemetry lights. I mainly have it telling me when I'm entering ABS or maybe when I'm breaking traction control, and yellow flags. I think that those are really important things to have on track, and it's pretty, you can set the brightness to whatever you like. I really do feel like it's a good tool to help you stay out of ABS if that's your current objective. You can probably have other uses for it too. Or if you don't care about fancy colors, you can just turn it off completely. There's no saying you have to use it, but I do think it's a nice feature. 21-bit encoder. You know, I looked this up and I'm not gonna pretend that I noticed a difference here. But yeah, 21 bits, guys. It's a lot. Later this year, when we see the Zeus wheels come out with their removable screen and stuff like that, we will have this mag strip on the front. That is so you will be able to snap that Simagic dash right onto the front of this wheelbase, which I'm actually pretty excited for. I think that's pretty cool. So I've never used other wheels with my Simagic stuff, but you can replace the wheel hub here with this 70mm hole pattern. So cool and good. Damn it. I suck at this. As I said earlier, these two are almost absolutely identical in every way besides their power supply and their Newton meter output. They even come in at the same weight, 6.2 kg or 13.5 pounds. And the EVO Pro at 18.6 kg or 19 pounds. She hefty. Now let's talk price. The Sport will cost you $399 USD. The EVO will cost you $549 USD, and the Pro will cost you a mighty $699. Let's chat about the differences between these two that I noticed. I have spent the last 5 to 6 months with this Simagic Alpha Mini. I know how it feels, I know how it works. I really enjoy this wheelbase. So the first thing I did when I got these in was I put the Sport on my rig, and I decided I was gonna use it most of the month, and I did. Now, even though there is a 1 Newton meter difference between these wheels, I can tell you I honestly couldn't tell a difference. And I think that this one reacts a little bit quicker, and I think that has something to do with the no cogging and the 21-bit depth motor thing. It just feels a little bit snappier, which is good. Now, while I think the EVO bases are great and they do excel over the Alpha series, if you're one of those people who just bought one of these and then the EVO's dropped and now you're worried about, oh no, I'm missing out, what do I do? This is still a supported wheel and this thing feels great. If you're looking for your first high-end wheel, I believe Simagic is the point where we start to get into high-end wheelbases. And I think that the EVO is becoming a great place to start. And while Simagic was already a great starting point for getting into high-end sim racing, now it's even a little bit more affordable. You're looking to spend $400 for this guy, and maybe like $280 for your Neo, and now you have a wheel and base combo. You are looking to clear a little bit more room at your rig. The EVO Sport is a little bit bigger than the Mini, but it's not much of a difference. I think a lot of people will end up buying the Sport and they will be happy with it and they probably won't need to upgrade for a very, very long time. Because if you've been in sim racing for a little while now, you know that 9 Newton meters is just fine. You'll live on it, it's okay. Which leads me to the opposite end of the spectrum, the EVO Pro. I have spent my last week on this chunky boy. Now, a couple notes here. This is the strongest wheelbase I've ever used. The biggest wheelbase I've ever used is my Alpha Mini. So for me, this is my first time experiencing more Newton meters than you really need. Most people will race their bases at 12 to 15. So why the extra Newton meters then? Well, I finally learned why.
Here we are in Dirt Rally 2.0 in the Dirtfish Arena, and we have the EVO Pro on the rig. I've never raced anything over 10 Newton meters. Oh my. It's like fighting a fucking bear. Okay. I don't have much to report right now, besides that it's strong as hell, and we're going to turn it down just a hair. It's a whole lot. Let's bring it down to our 10 Newton meters, okay? Let's bring it down to our Alpha Mini. Give it a go. Okay, so instantly I officially understand what the high Newton meters are for. I have never had this much clarity in bumps and detail as I am having right now on this EVO Pro. I've always heard that you obviously don't run these bases at 18 Newton meters in this case, or some bases 20 or even up to 30. You don't run them that high. That is just headroom for clarity. And I finally understand that. I literally just pulled out of this parking lot, but this is the most clear and defined 10 Newton meters I've ever felt. I understand. I think I get the hype. We're just gonna send it, all right? I wouldn't have told you that there was a delay in the wheel before, but the way this wheel is turning back through my hands feels more reactive than ever. I don't know if that is I don't know if that's the zero cogging or better response times. Oh, something hidden in the grass. The wheelbase all the way up to its monster 18. We're going to go to options, make sure that iRacing sees that we're using an 18 Newton meter base, and we're going to hit test. Right now, iRacing with its auto detect strength is more along the lines giving me that 12 to 15 mark, and it's just a bit stronger than my Mini or the EVO Sport was, and actually I really am enjoying the little bit of extra strength. Like when I come out of the corkscrew, I'm getting like a little bit of pull that I normally don't get. Yeah, I'm just getting a little bit more information from the tires and suspension and things like that with the increased Newton meters. Let's just say screw it, give it like 18 strength. Here we go. Doesn't feel like I'm quite in the realm of forced oscillation yet, but it is more of a handful now. Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's the stuff. That's the stuff I gotta shift. Now, what's funny is you can turn your force feedback strength, Jesus, up in iRacing, even on the Alpha Mini, as strong as you want. You can make it so strong that you almost can't physically turn it, but you don't get any clarity. There's no detail. It's just a really tough wheel to turn. Right now, I've got this up to that strength where it's getting hard for my arms to physically turn it because I'm a weak little baby. and I'm still getting detail, which is the magic of having higher newton meters. So, all right, we can go up higher. We're men. We're men. I'm a man. Go from 18 to 25 strength. Why am I doing this? Carrying the speed we normally. Oh, yeah. What's insane is I'm still getting detail, even at strength this high. It's not just hard to turn. I'm getting an insane amount of detail. Stronger. It could be 30. Let's start it up to 30. All right, we're starting to get that forced oscillating on the straights. You gotta. Breathe. Breathe. Hold on tight. Here comes a curve. That moved my butt in the seat. And what's funny is there's still detail. Like, I'm still getting texture and still, like, it's not just tough. So if you wanted to be an absolute ridiculous monster, you could turn it up this high and still get some valuable information. Some of it's a little lost, like in the hard cornering, some's a little lost. Speed coming into the corkscrew, here we go. My rig is shaking, my house. Okay. Wide swing here. Stick it, stick it. That's not sticking it, that's not sticking it. I've been told you don't hold on to the wheel while wrecking out. Okay. All right. Well, for the sake of experimenting, that was fun. And you'll be happy to know that after about 5 minutes of that craziness, it's not even warm.
Since those reactions, I've been using this for multiple days. The clarity and detail that I get from those moments of force feedback is superior here. And now I understand why people are going for these higher newton meter bases. And yes, a 9 newton meter base, a 12, a 10, they're all good and they will all suffice and they give you the information you need. But this just gives it in a very clear manner. It's so hard to describe. Crispy. Crispy like a fish. Crispy like a chip. So the last thing we actually need to talk about is the EVO Base. We haven't really spent a lot of time talking about it because it really just bridges that gap between the two. It does exactly what you would expect it to do. Obviously, just like any of the purchases, if you have the budget, I recommend the one higher up. But are any of these necessary? No. The 9 does the job, but the 12 and the 18 will definitely give you this extreme amount of clarity through bumps and through textures and even a little bit in grip. Especially here on WRC, the 18 and the 12 just absolutely excel with these textures from the gravel and all these things. And really, Rally has been my most shocking result for feeling the force feedback differences in these games. Without sloppy, we can fix it. Go, okay. Huge shout out to SimHQ and Simagic for hooking me up with these and allowing me to do this, to test out new products before they're on the market. Sitting back at 50 subscribers, I never imagined this was what was going to be happening, but it is. If you guys are in the US and looking to buy one of these wheelbases, do consider buying from SimHQ and use my promo code ROAD2RACER, all caps. It'll save you like 5%. Their shipping is fast and their customer service is great. They're also owned by Adam LZ. I don't know if you knew that. So basically what I'm saying is their shop is like in the middle of a drift track. So you're literally ordering from car guys, which is probably my favorite part of working with them. But thank you for watching. I'm hoping this gave you some insight into these new wheelbases and you can make an informed decision. So hit that like button and subscribe, and I'm gonna go take a nap. I know I'm forgetting something. I really should script this stuff out. Huh.